are live, Courtney.
Hey, Sam.
I almost said Calhoun.
Calhoun Kendall.
Calhoun Kindle. I am here with Girls Inc. This is the face of Girls Inc. And many of you know Courtney and you know about Girls Inc. So I'm going to try to get Courtney to talk about things that maybe you guys don't know. And I don't know where the conversation is going to go or she'll spill the tea. But we're going to try to get her too. So we are live for NonProfit Connect, which is something I dreamt up to bring together nonprofits on this Giving Tuesday, because it's a global day of giving. And I know that a lot of community members know that it's Giving Tuesday and they may want to help, but they don't know who to help or how to help. And so my purpose in doing this is to let's educate the community about what all these nonprofits do and let them know what needs you have.
Well, that's a great thing that you're doing. So there are so many awesome nonprofits in the community that people are not aware of.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, Girls Incorporated has been in existence for over 50 plus years locally, nationally over 160 years, inspiring girls to be strong, smart, and bold. So we've been around for a long time. So.
Yes, you have. So you've gone through, we were just talking before we went live, we were talking about your remodeled space.
Mm-hmm.
You're finally back in your new space?
We are. We actually are part of the Housing Authority, but they are now Churchill Park. So our campus, we have two locations. We have one at Churchill Park, East 19th Street, and then we're in Owensboro Christian Church. So Churchill Park is the one that got renovated. New floors, a new kitchen, new bathrooms, painting, much needed things that needed to be done. So we are back in that space for the time being. So we're excited. We just got to do a lot of work to get it back to normal.
Yeah. So you're not situated yet, but you're back in.
We are back in. That's all that matters.
That's all that matters. So tell us about what Girls Inc. does. Like, we don't have to go deep into it, but like in general, if somebody doesn't know what Girls Inc. is, now of course they've probably seen the buses, the vans, but maybe they don't know what Girls Inc. does.
So we are after school youth development program for girls 6 to 18. Our greatest majority of girls are 6 to maybe 10. Once they get a little bit older, they are involved in other stuff. But you said you've seen our van, so we pick up from city, county, and Catholic schools. Monday through Friday, we have snack, homework help, and then programming. Our programming can include field trips. It can include any of our national program, media literacy, economic literacy, STEM programming, guest speakers, cooking classes, which is a favorite. Any of those things, life skills that girls are needing to know. We also have a summer program, so that runs when they get out of school, and we're 10 hours a day during the summer. So all the things we do in after school, we do in the summer too. We are coming up on Christmas break. So we are open sometime during the break, and those are 10-hour days as well. So anytime they're out of school, unless it's weather related, we're 7:30 to 5:30 versus our after school 2 to 6:30. Something else too that I don't think people probably realize that. So we pick them up from school, but we provide transportation home too. So they can't say, well, I don't have transportation, I can't come. We'll get you if you're within the city and county limits. We'll get you home if that is a need. Most of our girls get referred by usually word of mouth. We've had so many kids that an older sister came, or a mom came, or now a grandma that's come, or sometimes referrals through social services or through the schools or other agencies. So that's how we get the girls.
Okay, so and I don't know how much you're comfortable sharing, but I'm just going to ask, and you answer however you want. The girls that have the greatest need to be at Girls Inc. Can you describe what that girl experiences?
And probably the girls are with the greatest needs. Probably maybe is just not a stable home life. That need that extra attention. That needs to be their confidence and self-esteem boosted, which I think my biggest blessings are when the girls come in and they're super quiet and they finally get used to us, and then they're doing speeches or they're up in front of the class. So that's my why, one of my whys of why I do what I do, because I am there to see the changes. It may not be like in a week, a month, but changes do happen. So I get to be a part of that, and the staff as well get to be a part of those changes. But it's really any girl, so any income level. So it's not like for a certain type of girl. If you're a girl in those ages, you can come and participate in Girls Inc. So at either, I think sometimes people think that, oh, well, if we make this amount, she can't benefit. Everybody can benefit from Girls Incorporated.
Nice. So how do you guys get your funding? You obviously do a whole lot for the girls. You have those vans. You have drivers for those vans. Like, there's so much money going out. So how do you get your funding?
We are, it's a lot of grant funded things that happen. We do have 3 fundraisers a year that happen. Board members, awesome donors in the community. We are funded United Way. So different forms of funding that comes in. So
okay. If a girl is attending today and she shows up, give us a day in the life. So she shows up, well, actually she shows up right there at school. The bus, the van picks her up. What does her journey look like till she gets home?
So she'll get picked up from schools, and she'll be on the van, of course, with other schools. We pick up multiple schools. And it could be she's on a van with some kids from her class, well, their schools. So we send out 4 vans a day. So, and they go in between the city and county and Catholic schools. So she'll get there once she gets the Girls Inc. She signs in, she gets a snack. After she gets a snack, if she has homework, which we don't press the issue of homework, we do encourage it. But if she doesn't have homework, she has what we call informal time. It could be running in the gym. It could be playing in our game room, just hanging out with friends in our library, reading books. And then once we do all of that, once everybody's there, we do announcements. So it could be that, hey, Sam made an A on her test, or a birthday is celebrated, or something. Something is celebrated with the girls. And then
so everybody's together.
We are.
So the informal time is you can go do your own thing. You can. And then you bring them all together for announcements.
Yep. And then we go into the individual age groups. So our programming is K through 2nd, 3rd, and 4th, and 5th through teens. Now within the programming, you're only in your age group unless we do like a group activity.
Makes sense.
So you're with your age group, and those programs that I mentioned earlier, those are the programs that they do. For instance, today, I think one group is doing Go Girl Go. It is like kind of like a sports related activity. You learn about women in sports, share their story, and then they do activities, and there's some journaling. We partner with a lot of other people in the community, sometimes other nonprofits. Whether it's a grant or to get a speaker to come out. We actually had someone from New Beginnings come out yesterday and talk to my team. So that's going to be an ongoing thing. We are partnering currently with Audubon Area Care Clinic. They're doing a grant funded activity with them. So they learn about health, nutrition, all of that. So that's been happening. But yeah, so I'm going to say we probably can't do most of our stuff without community partners, because we do have staff, but most of it happens with people. Hey, I have the program, we have the kids. So
I think that's so awesome. And of course, I've been there a few times to volunteer, and every time I go, it's just so much fun, which I need to do it more. But one of the last times I went was in my roller derby gear, which was really funny, and the girls seemed to really like it. And it's, they looked at me like I was really something, and I was nothing. But to them, somebody on skates, and she had a gear, like it was just really cool. So what kind of, if somebody's watching and they're like, I think I really want to help this organization, but I don't have the money, what could I give? Like, can anybody provide something? Like, do you think just about anybody can do it, or what do girls like the most?
Well, if it's homework help, if it's tutoring, which we would love to have a person for every girl. every girl that we have, which we've been averaging probably maybe 50 to 60 after school at both locations, just for them to get that one-to-one. But if you have a special skill, whether it's music, whether it's art, I have someone coming in next week. She's going to be doing art with them. Whether, like I said, it is a program about economic literacy, or you have your own business, letting the girls come and take a tour, being an entrepreneur. So all different things. So we welcome people to come in, whether we're going on a field trip to their business, they're opening up their doors, or they come in and talk about their business, or even volunteer opportunities for the girls. So if they're old enough, we want them to be able to volunteer somewhere. We've been to the help office. They've been to the Daniel Patino shelter before in the past, just to see that aspect of life. We do have girls who come from single dads, single moms. We do have girls, well, we have had girls who are in the shelters. So it's not just about them receiving help, but we want them to be productive citizens and be able to give back too. So that's something that we teach too. You know, people are helping us, we can help. We've been to the animal shelter. They have loved that. Loving on the animals and all of that stuff. So,
Yeah.
so any skill set, we welcome people to come in and help them. Sometimes people are like, oh, I don't know if I'm making a difference. They really are, because once the girls meet them, they'll talk about them, or they'll see them out and say, hey, I remember you came to Girls Inc. So they're impacting them, even if the little time that they've spent there, they're making a difference. So.
Is there a certain type of volunteer or a certain topic that the girls tend to really look forward to most, or is it just?
I think it's probably just a hit and miss. Some days everybody's like, oh my gosh, that was the best speaker, or even with our programs, that was the best program.
Depends on the girls' moods too, right?
It does. They come in some days, oh, they're ready to get it together. Other days, no, I'm doing it. Okay. We'll figure something else out. So
yeah. Andrea was in here earlier talking about Girls Inc. So she runs Oasis. And she was talking about how sometimes, you know, in the domestic violence situations, there's young girls, and so they call up Girls Inc. and you guys work together.
And we have had some with their kids. So
yeah, I think that's awesome. What about financially? Like, is there a big project coming up that you guys need money for? Or is it just like a general fund that I know Girls Inc. needs money, as NonProfit does? Probably
just in general donations. We just take donations to see. We're grateful for if somebody wanted to donate $5. We're grateful for everything we get, and we utilize everything we get to the best of our ability. So we're not going to say, oh yeah, somebody donate $1 million, but even big or small. And the beauty of sometimes with the way that people donate, it's always like a story. Tish, our CEO, does an awesome job, you know, telling the story about Girls Inc. and thanking people, you know, because so why did you donate to Girls Inc.? Some of the stories are maybe their member came, or they seen our vans, or we helped a family member or something like that. So that's the best part of it. You know, people are giving, oh, you know, I just read, or I just went online and I saw that that's the work that you do. So
there's got to be a success story that sticks out in your mind of one of the girls.
There's so many. We actually have a couple former members who have PhDs. One of them, we'll say Dr. Whitney, she actually is at UK. She's a professor with special education.
Amazing.
That she came and worked for us. She came in the summer and worked for us with the teens, and it was so funny because she was in transition, moving from another state back to Kentucky. And when she left, the girls, which we've done Zoom calls and stuff with her, and they said, are you coming back? I'm like, she's a professor. She's not coming back to work here. So she stopped through. So they still have that connection. I'm really, I think it's really important for them to see girls that have been in the past of what they're doing.
Yes.
We've had a couple. I have one that they did maybe last month. She is UK law. she wants to be a lawyer. I have one that's actually at grad school at WKU. She's going to be talking to them next week. So I try to connect with them. So the girls will be like, look, she came to Girls Inc. and look at her. Because sometimes when they get to the middle school, high school age, this is dumb. This is boring. But you stick around and, stuff can happen, great things. We can connect you to resources, or even when you're older, we still want you to come back, whether it's a speaker or some of our past members have been donors. So that's awesome for them to stay connected and for them to feel connected.
For them to realize how big of an impact you guys made in their life.
And we want that. We want everybody that walks in our doors to feel like, hey, they really do care. And we definitely do. When they come in the door, hey, how are you? When you leave, see you later. Even on their bad days, when I'm never coming back to this place, you'll be back. I'll see you tomorrow. I'll see you tomorrow. So,
and I'll be happy when you come back
yes,
in.
I'll see you tomorrow. So, yeah.
Yeah, that's really awesome. I know that, well, I don't know where I would be today if it wasn't for the mentorship that I got from Mrs. Cook, which I know that that relationship is really special to me. But I'm from a small town. We didn't have a Girls Inc. If we had a Girls Inc., I definitely would have been a part of it.
And that's usually what everybody says. And some of our grown-ups, gosh, is there a women's Inc.?
Because I want some sisterhood.
You can start that. You can definitely start that. One of the things is I used to be a member of Girls Inc. It was Girls Club back then, but from 6 to 13, I was a member, and I never thought about coming back to work until I was at OCTC doing some classes, and somebody said, hey, I was working at another nonprofit, and they said, hey, do you know Girls Inc. is hiring? I was like, oh, okay. Well, they were not open on weekends. I'm like, I'm going to try it out. And then they were not, where I was working too late. And I was like, oh, I'll try it out. So the beauty was they let me come in and see if I was going to like it. So I got to hang out with the kids for a couple days. And I was like, oh. So I got hired in as a preschool kindergartner. So back then we had 5 and 5-year-olds. You have to be 6 now. So we have 4s and 5s. And I'm like, oh my gosh. And never in my wildest dreams did I think that I would still be there. But
How many years later?
Oh, it was 25 years later.
Wow.
But I tell people everybody has a story and I have to find out. I'm having a new girl start today. So I'll be there because I got to figure out, and then we'll find out what happens to her when she becomes a teenager, or what happens to her when she becomes an adult. And as much as sometimes the girls say, well, Miss Courtney, get on my nerves.
They'll tell you, Miss Courtney, you're getting on my nerves.
Yeah. So when they're grown up, I'm like, oh my gosh, sometimes I'm the first person they call for like a resource.
Yeah.
And, that warms my heart that I'm able to help. But I thought you didn't like me.
You got to be stern with them.
I thought you didn't like me, but things change, and it's for the best. I will help any girl if they called me today, even if she was not liking me. But I would probably help her if she called me for a resource. I definitely would. But I'll probably say, you remember when, to refresh her memory, and then she go, oh, come on.
Come on, yeah. You don't have that good.
But I would. But yes, I remember a lot of movies.
So you have been there for 25 years as an employee. And we were just talking a couple episodes ago about nonprofit employees just don't get paid a whole lot. And it's such hard work. So for you to be at Girls Inc. for 25 years, first of all, that speaks volumes of Tish and what kind of leader she is. But secondly, like, your heart is gigantic. I'm surprised your heart fits in this room.
I love it. I love what I do. And I think when you love what you do, I need it. We all need a paycheck or whatever. But sure. But just, I guess the type of work that I get to do with the girls, well, just kids in general. I'm so, if a kid is misbehaving and I know you in a store, I'm going to say something to you. And sometimes even if I don't know you, hey, why are you talking like that? So it's just that way that I am. I wish everybody would feel the same way that I feel sometimes, but I know they're not. Certain jobs are for certain people. So, but we always welcome people who have that heart for kids or who have that heart to make a difference, because we can't pay everybody what they're worth, but some of the big benefits is, like I said, making a difference. So that is the biggest benefit for me. Like I said, that'll never change. So, but if anybody needs a job, we're looking for some people, whether you're education majors, social work majors, to get in and, you know, get your feet wet. And we've had so many people come in with those majors, and they're teachers. They've been principals and social works and all of that. So even if they don't have those majors, if you like working with kids, then yeah, we'll take you, providing, you know, all that.
Yeah, you may not be a long timer like Courtney.
Yeah.
You may not end up being there for 25 years, but it sure would be a great first step for somebody in
Yes,
his career.
yes. So
how many positions are you hiring for right now?
We have a couple for the part-time. It is just part-time. And that's sometimes too. We have a lot of college students, and that's probably why we have the biggest turnovers, because college students, one semester it can work.
Right.
Next semester
Sure.
it can't work. And we get that. It is Monday through Friday. And we do work with schedules, but it's so important for them to be able to be there during the programming time and
Yes.
The interaction with the girls. Because if you only come one day a week, that's not being consistent. So
Yeah, and those girls need consistency.
they do, and the structure. So if you only be one day a week, I'm sorry, maybe volunteer or something. But as far as working, we want you there every day, and the girls want you there. That's how you build those relationships. That's how you get that structure. That's how you get them to trust you and be like, oh, Courtney's going to be there every day. I know she's going to be there. And sometimes that structure and that stability is maybe the only thing they have, you know, because who knows, where am I going today on the van? Who's going to pick me up? So it can be different every day. So just to see a face who actually cares, that makes a world of difference to some of the girls. So, and plus you get those good notes, those little notes. I love you.
Aww.
Or you get a sticker,
and you
or
keep them forever.
I do. I really do. I really do.
I think it's amazing. Well, I think you're an incredible person. You know that. You're such a big supporter of mine, which is, it absolutely blows my mind. So
that's going to be always.
You and I are so interconnected in so many ways. And
it's so funny. I was thinking back. I was like, oh my gosh, I didn't even meet her at the job she has now. So
no.
That's crazy. And it was roller derby. So,
so
I am looking for somewhere to volunteer. Oh, come to Girls Inc. And she came. So she came. And then she brought her team. That was such a fun day. That was a fun day for the kids.
It was a fun day. If I wasn't so out of shape, I would do it again. Well, Courtney, I really appreciate you being here. It sounds like there's a lot of ways that anybody who's watching who wants to help can help. So number one, you guys are definitely looking for people to fulfill job openings.
Yep,
we've got that. They're part-time job openings. We also need volunteers. So if you feel like your heart is being tugged toward hanging out with these girls, whether it's consistent or inconsistent, as far as volunteers, you could just come once. Or you can come once a week, once a month, once a whatever. And then also, obviously, giving financially. Every nonprofit can use more money. And I'm pretty sure you guys posted some sort of a quick link to be able to easily give on Giving Tuesday.
We did. So Venmo and through like PayPal. So, or they can even stop by. They can stop by. Hey.
Yeah, check out what you're donating to. So. Yeah. I think that's great. Well, Courtney, I appreciate you, as you already know. And you guys, we have Harry Penigo coming in next. So definitely stick around. And yeah, thank you for tuning in. And I hope that you connect with a nonprofit on this Giving Tuesday to give back.
Well, thank you, Sam, for having me.
You're welcome. Thanks, guys.